If you are here, it is because you are interested in learning English. There is so much information out there on what you could do and how you can get better. In today's video, let's talk about different things that you can do on your learning experience from beginner to advanced. The things that you do to improve your English when you're starting out are going to vastly change once you become more advanced. The most important thing for you to remember is you're going to have to keep on working to improve and get better at English. There is no magic pill that you take to become fluent. Are you ready to find out how to improve your English while learning on your own? If so, then let's get into it. Find a good learning resource. You are going to want to find something that can give you a basic understanding of the English language. Next thing that you need to do is start to get an understanding of basic English sentences. Every language has sentences that you can't get by without knowing, and the English language is no different. Start to learn some simple sentences that you can use every day. Take notes and then review those sentences regularly. When you do learn something, it's good to make a note of it so that you don't forget it later. You can write notes down by hand, on your phone, or even on the computer. The most important thing to remember is getting it down and then go over those notes from time to time. It's really easy to forget something when you're not going over it a lot, so make that effort to take the time, go over those notes from time to time so that you keep them locked in your head. I was always taught that the best way for you to remember something is to try it out as soon as possible after learning it. And that's going to bring us to the next part, which is to make sure that you're actually using English. And by using the language, I do mean speaking it and writing in it as often as possible. Did you learn a new phrase, for example? Try it out on someone as soon as you get the chance. How about you can keep a journal of interesting things that happened that day, but make sure it's in English. Build up the habit of doing as many things as possible in English. Once you get better and better at English and you start to feel more comfortable, then that's where you can move on to the next step, which is a high quality learning resource such as a podcast or a video that's made specifically for people that are learning English. And when it comes to this, there are so many things that you can choose from now. So find something that interests you and then use that video or podcast to improve your English. To do this, you should try listening to that program every day while doing something relaxing or something that's enjoyable for you. Maybe you can put on your headphones, go outside and experience the sun, and take a walk while listening to that podcast or video. When I lived in California, I always liked to find a quiet place on the beach, sit down with a good book, and then just read. So, how about you try listening to that podcast or video in a place like a beach or someplace such as a park? Whatever you do, make sure it's someplace that you really enjoy. You really want it to be a place that relaxes you, and this is going to be very important. While listening, repeat short phrases that you can pick up, trying to match that speaker's pronunciation. I have a video on this which is called shadowing, and I'll link it down below so that you can practice it out and learn a little more in detail about the shadow technique. The key point is to match that speaker for pronunciation at first and don't really get into necessarily the full understanding of what they're saying in that podcast or video. The more that you listen, start to notice words or phrases that come up a lot. This probably means that you should know those words or phrases too. So the next thing that you can do is to try to look up those words and phrases that you hear coming up often. When I first moved to Japan, I would check out all the different words that I was learning in the electronic dictionary that was given. But now, of course, you can do it using something like your smartphone, get on the computer, and there's so many different translation services now. Start to build up your base of words and phrases that you're going to be able to use in your own conversations once you start to feel more and more comfortable. This is going to lead us to the final thing that we'll talk about today. Talk with people in English. There are so many places that you can talk online now, such as language learning platforms or in-person language learning online lessons. You can find paid or unpaid ways to talk in English online. If you're able to find good teachers or someone that you can talk to, try to make sure that you use those base of vocabulary words or phrases that you've been picking up. The best way for you to make sure that you don't forget something is to use it. So this is going to be where you have the chance to use your English and practice it on your own terms. Maybe you want to try out something such as idioms. Then this is where you're going to take that chance to do it with your language learning partner or your teacher. Since you're the one that's going to be learning, make a plan for that day and then try it out when you get to the lesson. Of course, if you have the chance, talk to somebody in real life. And this can be an English-speaking tutor, teacher, or friend. If you have friends that speak English nearby, or if you're able to join an English language exchange, you definitely want to take that opportunity to try out speaking real English as often as possible with real English speakers. With friends, you can work on things in your English in a more relaxed environment. Because you are trying, they're going to be able to help you out directly or indirectly. Sometimes just speaking in Japanese and then making a mistake in front of a group of friends, by their reactions I can kind of pick up that's not really how you say it, that's not what I wanted to do, and then I can try to go from there and pay attention to what they do the correct way. Whether online or in person, the most important thing is to be able to listen and use as much English as possible. Language, and English is no exception, isn't something that you're going to pick up overnight, so just keep learning, keep trying, and try to pick up and use as much English as you can. If it's something that interests you and you do put in the work, you will notice improvements over time. I hope this gives you some good ideas about how you can improve your English speaking. If you got some good benefit, how about share this video with someone else that you think would help? And then how about clicking right here to learn more about shadowing? Thank you guys so much for listening. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you.